Hi and welcome to Feminine Rising. Today we're going to do just a general reading. We're going to use the Goddess Arcana Tarot, the Divine Feminine Archangel Oracle, and the Sacred Feminine Oracle, just to see what message wants to come through, what the vibes are out there today. So first of all, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jo. If you are a returning viewer, great to see you again. If you are a subscriber, much love to you. Do appreciate every single one of you. This, like I say, is a backup channel. A secondary channel for me. My first one is Silver Soul Tarot, so please head over and have a look at that, see if there's anything over there you might find tasty. This one is specifically designed for the Divine Feminine, so if you resonate as a Divine Feminine, this channel is more for you. It is rising. Can you feel it? Let's see what this message is, shall we? We have got quarrelsome. Okay, so someone here might be having some issues. This could be internal, you know, arguments, or you know, some conflict, internal, external. Let's find out, shall we? And inspiring. That's interesting with the shell imagery there. That's a little personal nod, I think. I'm just doing some crocheting that's got the shell pattern. So that's quite beautiful. Right. So there's something here about getting some inspiring actions, or a way of coming out of this being quarrelsome, being sort of argumentative, or sort of maybe between two, you know, do you go left, do you go right, A, B, that sort of thing. We've got Divine Mother Calling with Mary. Okay. I think this might be about maybe tuning into a more maternal-esque feeling. Don't have to be a mother to feel maternal, obviously, but maybe, you know, loving on yourself a little bit more, or certainly finding the love of to help other people, you know, love thy enemy type thing. And we've got Haniel with Moon Magic. Okay. We might have to look to the moon here. Somebody might be having to work with the moon a little bit. There are obviously plenty. We've just had the Libra moon, so it's a little while till the next one. But maybe working with the moon. Do you work with the moon already? Maybe that's where you'll get some inspiration. Maybe you'll hear something.Maybe you will get a, not from Mother Mary, unless your mother is called Mary, not necessarily from a little fly, but maybe you'll hear some communication, you know, something that inspires you to come out of any two-mindedness that you might be in, or any sort of issues you might be having with other people. We've got the Knight of Wands. Probably wondering why I did that. It's because I want to take those two. The Knight of Wands. Okay, so there's this speed, this fast sort of action. You could, I mean, maybe there's some sort of something quite passionate. Maybe that's why there's something quarrelsome. It could be something you're quite passionate over, or certainly inspiring. We've got the Star. Well, there's some healing. So I do think the Star is going to be bringing in that kind of vibe of how to move forward. You do have the moon, so I mean, this could be like working with zodiacs, a certain moon. Have a look. Obviously it all depends on the energy that you're in, you know, what this quarrelsome energy is, or whatever it is you're coming out of in that sense. But the Star is also wishes, you know, make a wish on a star. It could have something to do with zodiacal and there's the moon. Wow. Zodiacal, you know, inspiration around a certain time of year. Maybe your birthday is coming up soon, and maybe you can use that energy, you know, that your birth month, that kind of energy that you're really comfortable with. This is a timeless message, so it's whenever you see it. You know, that kind of, or even just the element that you are. If you're an air sign, you know, the next air zodiac sign that we fall into might be where you can really work some magic. Now you got the moon. Okay, so we've got the moon twice. The moon is intuition, things being hidden from you, You know, maybe there's something you're not aware of. Maybe that's where this communication could come in, and you get that bit of inspiration because you know, you learn something, or a wish coming in. It's something that could certainly bring in some healing even. I'm going to move these down so we can still see the names of the cards, and we'll work up. Right. We've got the 10 of Pentacles. So there is a completion. The 10s are completion. It could be something around money. It can always, when Pentacles come out, it can be about finances. It can also just be about your material world. You know, where you're putting your energy in the material world. So there's something here about longevity or just coming to a close. 10s are just the cycles ending. So yeah, I mean, let's find out, shall we? This quarrelsome ending could be coming in. There's the 10 of Swords, the dead, done and over with, you know, finally putting something to bed, putting something to rest, and not going round and round and round and round in circles. Okay, so 1010 could be a number that you're seeing. The Chariot, there's that speed. Something is heading in, something is on the move. This flip is going to happen where you come out of this, you know, quarrelsome, did they, didn't they, will he, will they, I don't, you know, take as it resonates. But you are going to get some sort of healing, some sort of inspiration. The moon could be quite important for you. Certainly intuition. But there's this movement, this pushing yourself out of this vibe, or being pulled out of the funk. And again, the world, a completion, end of a cycle, things coming to fruition. I mean, it can be an achievement. You could finally get past, you know, maybe finally you move career or job where you don't have to deal with that person anymore. You know, finally I get to go on to do days rather than nights. You know, I mean, the quarrelsome, it can be a person, it can be something within yourself, but there's this break in energy. Okay, maybe praying to Mary could be a message there for someone, but certainly using the feminine energy is gonna be what pulls you forward. Now we've got the 9 of Wands, so there is the it's interesting when I see that, it always makes me laugh when I see this card. So that's your wounded warrior. Okay, but as you can see with her, let's bring it up, she's holding the sticks of fire, and she's truly using them as her protector. Okay, so she's not using that as a victim mentality. She's turned it around to use it as her armor. And you know what I do see when I see that is, or what I do think when I see that, is like being thrown to the wolves and coming back leading the pack. Yeah, so it's like you're using your energy, using the negativity, all the quarrels, and churning that into something else, using that to inspire you rather than drag you down. Yeah, so come back leading the pack. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, there's a turn, there's a change, there's a flip, there's movement, good luck, growth, expansion. Now even on this Wheel of Fortune card, I've got a couple of decks where the Wheel of Fortune card has the zodiacal wheel. Okay, so maybe this energy shifts for you specifically when a certain zodiac sign, oh, we got that one coming off, comes into play, that we move into that season, that we have a full moon or a new moon in that zodiac sign specifically. It could be yours, or it could just be one that just gets things moving. Maybe it's it could be anything, but there's this real sense of this turning, Chariot, movement, the Knight of Wands, movement, going from, you know, in two minds to being inspired, to going from arguing with yourself or with other people to actually being at peace, you know, having that healing. Where's the Star? Healing. Things being dead, done and over with, this cycle completing. The King of Cups, being in control of your emotions a little bit more. I mean, maybe that's what that's what turns, that you actually go from really being quite emotional, overwhelmed, into peace and being like, no, actually I do know what I want. Do you know, I'm going to let that go because that's not good for me. That's where the healing, why do I keep losing the star? That's where the healing comes in. Something is shifting. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Now you get the restart, the newness, the new path that leads you forward. So you go from this completion to something new. Fabulous. Something inspiring, because even the Ace of Pentacles is a journey. It's something in your 3D reality changing. It doesn't have to be financial, it doesn't have to be career, but it could potentially be that. But certainly the shift is happening. And the Seven of Swords, quite often seen as the card of why can't I think of the word? Deception. But I think there's this sense of you deceiving yourself, or this clarity coming in, something being held back from you. You get the truth, you get that inspiration, you get that knowledge. It can also just be picking your battles. In the original tarot, it's, you know, the guy running away with the swords, you know, he's picked his weapons. He doesn't want to go to war in the traditional sense. So there could be, you know, just thinking outside the box, something that changes and shifts this situation into something else. But it can only come from you. And I think you're about to get some sort of inspiration, maybe communication, maybe someone said something to you. Maybe it's me saying, you know, if you're dealing with someone and they're projecting that vileness onto you, as soon as you understand, so I'm just getting the next deck ready because I've decided we're going to use this deck to finish off. As soon as you understand that projection, as soon as you understand that they are just a mirror, you know, and if you put your energy into that, then that's what you're going to get back. So yeah, it's about picking and choosing. You have the right, you have the ability, you have the will to pick and choose where you put your energy. Okay, if someone's just going to constantly argue with you, you know, you just got a negative Nelly. Okay, thank you, bye. You know, we don't have to talk to each other. You don't have to follow me on social media. Bye. And just cut ties, literally. Whatever this is, there's going to be something that comes in. Something's going to shift, either with moons or with zodiacal changes, or both. You know, the moon in Scorpio, the moon in Taurus, the moon in Gemini. We've just had a full moon. Was it a full moon in Libra? What are we now? We're at April the 4th or something, so I'm not sure when this will go up, but it's early April. So there could be something maybe about May time. Now, it is a timeless reading, so take that as you wish, but there's definitely something coming to an end. Some completion, some cycles closing out, and then the energy picking up on the other side. So this is the Queen of the Moon Oracle, seeing as we've got moons everywhere. Let's go with it. The first card out is Balance. So this is just to close out the reading, and if any other messages want to come through. So yeah, it's finding the balance. Where do you want to put your energy? Do you want to put your energy into people who just argue with you all the time? Do you want to put your energy into, you know, people who fill your cup, or ones who drain your energy? But there's certainly this swift change coming, and it pulls you forward, and that's probably where the balance comes in, because you go from quarrelsome to inspiring. I'll take that one. We've got the path. There's your path being illuminated for you. The moon, if you watch in the normal tarot, the path is illuminated for the lobster to navigate between, you know, while the dog and the wolf are howling at the moon. It taking the attention away of anything that's trying to, you know, stop you, trying to block your path. So the moon does illuminate the path for you. It's something being hidden at the moment, but it will illuminate the path. You will be able to walk up that ladder and through that portal into something new. Let's just take one more. And we've got action. Yeah, take inspired action. Take that leap of faith. You know, take the action of block, delete. You know, do you want to go out this? No, thank you. You know, you are allowed to. No is an answer. I always say no is an answer. It's as valid an answer as yes. You know, if you don't want to interact with someone, don't interact with them. You know, you've got every right, you've got every will, God-given right of free will to do as you wish. You know, speak to who you wish, be with who you wish to be with. You know, be in the job you want to be in, whatever it might be. I am going to leave it there. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and expect the unexpected. Bye.